Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about emission, absorption, line and atomic spectra of certain elements. So before starting this video, in the previous class we have discussed about dual behavior of electromagnetic radiation, right? So in that medium what we have observed was we compared electromagnetic radiation with speed of light. That is, if you are denoting or if you need to calculate the frequency or wavelength of a given certain radiation, it has to be compared with the speed of light. That is, C is equal to mu into lambda type of value. So now, if you use that particular electromagnetic radiation frequencies or wavelength, we can relate them with respect to light also. So light, when travels through a medium and in the absence of medium, has a different speed. Let us say, if this is one medium I have taken here, and the outer space is a different medium, let us say air. So if this is a glass medium, so what happens is when a ray of light is incident or it is passing through a medium, it changes its speed. So while it is entering a medium, the resulting in decrease or increase in speed causes either deflection or refraction. So this might deflect in this direction and then again refract in the same way. Okay. So this deflection in the medium might cause a certain deviation in the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is what again observed in case of electromagnetic radiation. So that is, when we pass a white light through a prism, so let us say this is a glass prism. When we pass light through a glass prism, what we observed was certain wavelength of radiation had certain type of deflection and certain other had a different type of deflection. So if you consider this as a prism and this is the incident wavelength, so this is the deflection and then it is refracting in this path. Okay. So when a white light is made to pass through a glass prism, we observe a deflection in such a way that those which have short wavelength in the visible region deflected more. So short wavelength radiations deflected more, whereas radiation of high wavelength deflected less. Radiation of high wavelength deflected less. So this can be observed when our electromagnetic radiation of visible region is passed through a prism. So when we pass visible region of electromagnetic radiation spectrum through a glass prism, we observe the deviation in the light. So let us take this is our prism. So if this is our prism and we are passing light in this direction, if you pass light in this direction, as we know our visible region has 7 different colors: violet, indigo, blue, yellow, orange, red. Okay, green, yellow, orange, red. So what happens is red, which has a higher wavelength, deflects less. So red, which has higher wavelength, it deflects less. So that is, let us say this is red. So it deflects less in this way. And whereas blue or violet, which is at a lesser wavelength region, which is at the low wavelength region, so it deflects more. So in this direction, blue, violet, which is in the shorter wavelength region, deflects more. So in order to get not confused, let us write down the wavelength and the frequency of it. So violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So red has wavelength of 700 nanometer and violet has wavelength of 400 nanometer. This is 750 nanometer. Okay. So violet or blue, which is around 400 to 450 nanometer, deflects more. So if you consider the angle of deflection, see this is almost 180 degree, but this is less than 180 degree, right? So you can clearly observe the deflection angle. So higher wavelength radiation deflected more, whereas the higher wavelength radiation deflected less, whereas short wavelength deflected more. So this clearly explains that whenever we pass a given wavelength of light, of white light, it gets deflected to 7 different colors. The same phenomenon will be observed in case of rainbow. Okay, so rainbow, is nothing but light is passing through bubbles of water. Here water acts as a white prism. So there we observe the dispersion of white light to 7 different colors, where violet has been completely deflected in the higher order and red in the low order. Okay, and further in this particular dispersion of white light, we observe why blue light is overlapped by green light in such a manner. If you take this is green and this is blue, blue light will be overlapped by green and which will be overlapped by yellow, such as like this, and it will be overlapping with orange, and it will be overlapping with red. So this overlapping is nothing but this overlapping of dispersed light is called continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum. So what is a spectrum then? A spectrum is a series of wavelength of radiation, radiations of different wavelength which are not distinguishable easily. So in this case of continuous spectrum, all these colors are overlapping on one and the other, which results in a continuous spectra. That is, we won't have a straight line clearly like this. In order to differentiate blue with green, it is overlapping with one another. Therefore, this type of spectrum is called continuous spectrum. Okay, so this is what we observe in case of passing a white light through a prism. Next, when we allow a certain radiation which is absorbed by an electron, when it is getting excited or getting demoted, what happens is, in the case of photoelectric effect, we discussed about that radiation should be emitted by certain atoms. So, if an atom or a molecule is emitting certain radiation, and that particular radiation when passed through a prism gives a different kind of spectra. Okay, so that type of spectra is called emission spectra, and we also have a different in that itself, that is the absorption spectra. Now first I hope you understood about continuous spectrum. Now let us discuss about emission spectra or absorption spectra. So first we'll discuss about is emission or absorption spectra. Emission and absorption spectra. So what is this emission or absorption spectra? The emission or absorption spectra is observed when we allow a certain light to fall on a substance or object. So if let us say this is an object of sample, it is emitting certain amount of radiation. Okay, so this is emitting a radiation which is passed through a slit and which is then made to fall on a prism. Okay, so this is our prism. So this is a sample of object which we are taking. Okay, so this sample, it emits radiation when it is getting how can you say that is, we have discussed this, when electron gets excited to a higher level, it absorbs some amount of energy, right? So if you are considering an atom which is electron which is present already in the higher level and is getting back to the lower level, it will be emitting certain amount of radiation. Okay, so the radiation emitted by an electron or an atom while returning to the lower energy orbit or a stable energy level, it emits a radiation. That energy radiation is called emitted radiation. Okay, so the spectra observed by that particular radiation is called emission spectra. So emission spectrum is one which is observed when an atom releases certain amount of radiation while getting back to its stable ground level. The radiation which is emitted is passed through a prism and it is collected in a fine photographic plate which gives a particular spectra. That spectra is called emission spectra, and the atom which is at the higher level is called excited atom. So when an excited atom gets back to its ground level, it emits a radiation. That radiation will pass through a prism and collected on a fine photographic plate will get a spectra. That spectra is called as emission spectra. So emission spectra is the spectrum of radiation observed when an excited atom comes back to its lower level by emitting certain amount of radiation. Okay, so now if this sample is emitting certain amount of radiation and we are observing that frequency or deflection of light in this manner, so what happens is emission spectra of a given atom gives us complete discrete order of wavelength. It gives us complete discrete order of wavelength. So let us say this sample is emitting blue light. So let us say this sample is emitting blue light. What happens is the light which is emitting will be appearing on the spectrum. So this will be completely blue. One side of this will be completely blue, and all other colors which are not being emitted by the sample will be in dark shades. So this will be completely dark with fine bright lights there and here. So this will be some fine bright lights which will be because of certain deflections of colors. So if you consider, so this light is of the electromagnetic spectrum's visible region, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. This sample absorbs only blue light. Then what happens is, while it is emitting certain radiation, it emits just blue color, and it will be absorbing all the other colors which we see in the spectrum, where all other colors except blue will be in dark shade, and there will be certain bright lights present between the dark shades. Okay, if in this case, so this is called our emission spectra. Okay, this will be our emission spectra of a atom. If you are using the same sample and you are making an incident radiation to fall on this, so we are using a source now. We are using a source of white light, and this white light is falling on the sample. Now we observe the absorption spectra. Okay, for the absorption spectra, what happens is, once we pass through the same process, so instead of directly emitting the radiation from sample, what we are doing is we are giving some energy to the sample, and then we are observing some radiation. So now what happens is, the energy coming from the source is absorbed by the sample. This sample will be giving different type of spectra. So that spectra will be completely negative to that of the emission spectra. That is, only blue color will be completely dark. The blue color area will be completely dark. Remaining green, yellow, violet, orange, red will be appearing with a clear distinction, like this: green, yellow, orange, and red. So with clear distinction between those. So this blue and red light is nothing but the bright differentiation which was observing in the emission spectra, and this is the absorption spectra. So what happens when we push or put a certain amount of radiation is incident on the sample absorbs some amount of radiation. Okay, so the particular wavelength of that particular absorbed radiation will appear dark in the absorption spectra, whereas in case of ignoring the source and just considering the emission by the sample in its excited state, so if this sample is in excited state and it is losing or it is emitting radiation, that radiation will give us a spectra which will be called as the emission spectra, where one color will be clearly appearing on the spectrum and all the other colors will be appearing dark, that will be black. And if you ignore the source of light incident on the sample and you are just considering the sample, then that particular sample emits radiation which gives absorption spectra, where certain particular wavelength range will be absorbed and the rest will be emitted, which will be showing us the colors of different regions. Okay, so this is about the absorption spectra and emission spectra. So this is what we observe in case of normal solid substances. But if you consider a gaseous phase of atom, if you consider an atom in this gaseous phase, what happens is, instead of getting a continuous spectrum, we observe a discrete pattern of lines of wavelength regions. Like for example, let us say if this is the range of spectrum which we have observed for a gaseous phase of atom. So what happens over here in the spectrum is, we will come across series of lines one after the other in a dark posture like this. We will observe some certain lines in this way, which these lines are discrete in manner, which are not exactly the same. If you can say that, better for example is a barcode scanner. If you observe the barcode in a normal given packets of anything packed stuffs, so you'll observe the white and dark lines present one after the other. Similarly, in case of atoms in gaseous phase, we observe similar kind of a spectrum, where the spectrum will be separated with a discrete dark lines, and that type of spectrums or that type of spectra is called as line spectra. That type of spectra are called line spectra or atomic spectra. If those spectra are observed in case of emission of an atom, then it will be observed called as line emission spectra of an atom in its gaseous phase. Okay, so this is about line emission spectra of a gaseous phase. And one more thing, what is the use of this line emission spectra is, if you know the exact line emission spectra of a particular atom, we can use that known spectra of an atom to determine different atoms whose emission spectra are different emission spectra whose atoms are unknown. Like for example, so if I say I am having a fingerprint on this board, such as like this, you can use this fingerprint in order to match certain criteria of other fingerprints. Okay, similarly, if you have this spectra of a given atom and you have got a different spectra of different atom, and if you cross check with one another, if these two matches with one another, then you can say that the unknown spectra and this spectra both are same. Say for the metal or atom in its gaseous phase can be this. Okay. Similarly, which is nothing but the example which we use for detection of criminals for fingerprint matching. Okay. If you match one of the known emission spectra with an unknown emission spectra, then those two spectra will be found to be same and those two elements will be similar. So this particular example was completely explained by scientist called Robert Bunsen. Robert Bunsen. You know the Bunsen flame, right? So that Bunsen flame is nothing but the Bunsen's same scientist, Robert Bunsen. He found out that certain atoms can be determined by their spectral studies. Yes. So spectral studies. What is the spectral studies? If you are determining or discovering a given atom in its gaseous phase, depending upon the different atomic spectra, that may be emission spectra or absorption spectra or line emission spectra, etc. If you are studying a given atom or any molecule using the spectral studies, then that particular study is called spectroscopy. So Robert Bunsen explained the spectral studies in order to determine or discover certain elements, like for example indium, gallium and certain other elements. And further, these spectral studies were very useful for determining helium present in sun. So helium, which was found to be present in sun, was discovered by the use of spectral studies. Okay, so this is about the emission, absorption and line emission spectrums. Next, we'll discuss about line emission spectrum of hydrogen. So this line emission spectrum of hydrogen was explained by Rydberg. Line emission spectrum of hydrogen was explained by Rydberg. Rydberg said that when you consider hydrogen and pass it through an electric discharge, when a hydrogen gas is subjected to an electric discharge, this hydrogen atom or hydrogen molecule, gets excited, which is given as H2 star. So this star symbol is nothing but the excited hydrogen molecule. This excited hydrogen molecule or atom, while coming back to its ground state, emitted certain amount of radiation. It emits certain amount of radiation, which radiation was found to be having a specific spectra. That spectra was nothing but the line emission spectrum of hydrogen. So this line emission spectrum of hydrogen was better explained by scientist called Balmer. Scientist named Balmer explained the line emission spectrum of hydrogen using the studies of Rydberg. So what did he say was, when hydrogen is subjected to electric discharge, hydrogen molecule or hydrogen atom gets excited to a higher level, and once they are returning back to their ground level, they emit certain radiation, and that radiation, when observed in the spectral data, it found to have a discrete lines of dark and white, which are known as line emission spectrum of hydrogen. So Balmer used that studies and explained that the line emission spectrum of hydrogen obeys the formula. If it obeys the formula provided in this condition, he considered wave number as the expression for spectral lines. So if you consider wave number mu bar, then the spectral lines which was observed in the line emission spectrum of hydrogen follow the formula mu bar is equal to 1.097 into 10 power 7 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square. So this is the mathematical expression which Balmer used in order to explain the absorbed emission spectra of hydrogen. So here mu bar is called the wave number of the spectral lines. Here n is called the integer values, where 2 is the ground level, 2 is the ground principal quantum number, as I said in the previous classes, principal quantum number P. So principal quantum number of this particular line of basic principal quantum number at the ground state is 2, and n is the integer which is greater than or equal to 3. N is an integer which is greater than or equal to 3. That is, when hydrogen molecule get excited to a higher excited state, it will jump from ground level 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So that giving us a particular spectrum in such a way that if you consider this as n is equal to 1, if you consider this as n is equal to 1, and this is n is equal to 2, and this is n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5, Balmer series or Balmer spectral lines of hydrogen was found that hydrogen returning to the ground state of 2 from higher levels, that is from 3 to 2, and then from 4 to 2, and then from 5 to 2, so on, 6 to 2, 7 to 2, such as like that. So hydrogen which was excited in the initial position was returning back to the ground state, but that ground state was found to be with value n is equal to 2, and from the several excited state, it might be from n to 3, n to 2, or n is equal to 3 to, n is equal to 4 to, n is equal to 2, or n is equal to 5 to n is equal to 2, and so on. So this spectral series where the hydrogen atom returns back to the state of n is equal to 2 from any other excited state which has greater than 2 values, that is nothing but greater than or equal to 3. So this series was called Balmer series of hydrogen spectra. Balmer series of hydrogen spectra, and Balmer explained this spectra because this particular spectra is found to be present in visible region of electromagnetic radiation. So it was found to be observed in visible region of electromagnetic radiation. So later certain other scientists came across with new certain spectral lines of hydrogen, and those were, let us write down in the table. First one was Lyman series, where N1, if you consider the ground state as N1 is equal to 1, N2 will be equal to 2, 3, 4, etc. Next, as we know our Balmer series, BAL, MER, N is equal to 2, N1 will be equal to 2, and the second excited states from B will be 3, 4, 5, and so on. And for Paskin, N1 is equal to 3, N2 is equal to 4, 5, 6, and so on. Next for bracket, we have N1 is equal to 4, N2 is equal to 5, 6, 7, and so on. And the last one, front series of hydrogen spectra, where N1 is equal to 5, N2 is equal to 6, 7, and 8, so on. So these are the extra additional spectral lines which are explained by several other scientists for the hydrogen line emission spectra. And these series were found to be observed in, Lyman was found to observe in UV region, Balmer is found to observe in, Lyman series was observed in UV region, Balmer series was observed in visible region, Paskin series was observed in, Paskin bracket and front series were observed in IR region. Okay, so these are the different line emission spectrums of hydrogen. And later we came across to know that it can be explained in a certain formula which is given as mu bar. Instead of taking our Balmer's expression, we consider a regular expression for this, that is the Rydberg's expression for line emission spectrum of hydrogen, which is given by the formula mu bar is equal to 1.097 into 10 power 7 multiplied by 1 by Ni square minus 1 by nf square. 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. That is, here 1.097 into 10 power 7 is called Rydberg constant. So this Rydberg constant is given in 2 SI units. If it is considered for the wave number, it is given the value 1.097 into 10 power 7 per meter. If you are considering Rydberg constant for wave number, it should be 1.097 into 10 power 7 per meter. And if the same Rydberg constant is considered for energy, then that Rydberg constant will be equal to 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joules. Remember, Rydberg constant has two values. One, if you are considering for wave number, that will be 1.097 into 10 power 7 per meter. And if you are considering the same Rydberg constant in terms of energy, then it will be 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joules. Okay, so this is about this. Next is Ni and Nf. So Ni and Nf, they do define a type of spectrum which we can observe. If in the first case Nf is greater than Ni, so N final is greater than N initial, then we observe absorption spectra. Then we observe absorption spectra. If Nf is greater than Ni, we observe absorption spectra, and if Ni is greater than Nf, and if Ni is greater than Nf, we observe emission spectra. So that is, if Nf is greater than Ni means atom is getting excited from lower level to higher level. So in order for an atom to get excited from lower to higher level, it has to absorb certain amount of radiation. Therefore, it gives us absorption spectra. For Ni greater than Nf, that is, it is jumping from higher energy state to lower energy state. Therefore, it will be emitting certain radiation. Therefore, it comes across with a emission spectra. So this is about atomic emission spectra, emission spectra, absorption spectra, or you also call them as line spectra. And these are the 5 important series of hydrogen spectra. And using this series, Bohr came across certain model of an atom, and he also explained these series using its postulates. We'll discuss more in the next video. I hope you have understood these concepts. If you have any doubts regarding these concepts, please do comment down below. You can also mail me those doubts to my mail ID, which I have provided in the description box. Thank you for watching.